let's make coq au vin.
Okay, so to start this recipe, we're gonna start off with some chicken drumsticks that we've deboned, seasoned with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. You're gonna use half a pack of bacon, a few mushrooms, 2 shallots, half of a yellow onion. You're gonna want some fresh thyme, butter, red wine, and some chicken broth. So let's get started. You're gonna take half a pack of bacon. You're gonna chop into about 1-inch pieces, about that big. Once you get that done, throw it in your skillet with a little bit of butter and get that frying up. And then we'll move on to step 2. Okay, so next step is you want to dice your shallots and your onion together while your bacon is in the pan. Keep an eye on your bacon because you just want it crispy and you don't want it overcooked. After your onions and shallots are diced, you take your mushrooms and you're just going to quarter them instead. So you just take one, make sure you wash them first, and sliced. And that's all you're looking for, just a quarter. Once you get those done, we'll turn to our bacon. Looking for with this bacon is you want it to be slightly crispy. This is basically what you should have. And what you do once it's this point, you take it out. Leave the oil, the fat in there, take out the bacon, because we're going to make a roux now. Start our roux. What you're going to do now is you're going to take your shallots and onions and you're going to throw them into this pan and let them sizzle. Let them cook until they're tender, translucent, slightly caramelized. You can also add in your mushrooms at this point if those starting to cook. Okay, slightly tender, slightly brown. Now we throw the flour. I literally just use my hand to measure this. Just mix it around. Now we get to add what makes coq au vin coq au vin. Red wine. So you're going to use a cup and a half of red wine, preferably a dry red wine, anywhere from 12.5 to 14% works fine. Add it in, and you stir, and you want to scrape the brown bits off the bottom of the pan. And what we're going to do now is we're going to let this simmer, and you're going to let it cook down to about half of what it is. Always remember, when you're cooking with red wine, never cook with red wine that you won't drink. If you don't want to drink it, don't put it in your food. Plain and simple. Second rule to cooking with red wine, always save yourself a little bit to drink for later. So this has reduced now. It's getting pretty thick. What you want to add now is your chicken broth. This is a cup of chicken broth. Just add it in, mix it up. And then you're going to let this simmer down too. And while this is simmering, it's a good time to put your chicken on and start getting that cooked. You're going to just sear the chicken, and we'll get to that in a minute. Last thing we add to this is your thyme. And you're going to add about 5 to 6 sprigs of fresh thyme. You do it just right in. Okay, so now that this is simmering, we got our pot here with a bit of butter. We're gonna add our chicken, and you always add it skin side down first because you want this to be crispy. So just like that. Make sure your pan is hot enough to hear sizzle. If it's not sizzling, it's not hot enough. Skin side down. Now these are pretty thin, so they should cook pretty quickly, so keep an eye on them. After you've flipped your chicken, make sure that you preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Okay, now that your chicken is seared, we're going to take it and we're going to put it into the sauce. Make sure you get all this lovely oil and fat, because that's all where your flavor is going to come from. Mix it up. And just let it simmer with the chicken in the pan for a few minutes while your oven is still heating up. So we're going to take that and throw it in the oven. Okay, so now that the oven is preheated, we're going to do two things before we pop it in. First, we're going to add the bacon into the pan. Just throw it in. Mix it around. And second is one of the biggest secrets of restaurants and their quality, and that is simply butter. We're going to take 4 little things of butter, slice them up, and just add it in. This is what gives restaurants their incredible flavor. It's just butter and a little bit of salt. Aside from that, take it, throw it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. Okay, chicken's in there for 15 minutes. Take her out. Now what you want to do is you want to remove the chicken from the pan. Now we're going to finalize the sauce. This is the time where you let this simmer down. You cook the sauce down for another 10 minutes or reduce by a quarter. Make sure you taste it and make sure it's seasoned properly for your taste. A little bit of salt, and it's good to go. Now you just plate it. Take a spoonful of your sauce. Right over top of it. And that's it. I'm serving this with some garlic mashed potatoes. You guys can use whatever side you want, but that's all it takes. That is how you make French style Coq Au Vin. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna enjoy my wine and Coq Au Vin now.